Tape Deck Media.
Welcome to Panel Picks, issue number 8. I am one of your hosts, Dan Bublich Jr. With me is the other host, our other host, Jeremy Plum. How are you today?
I'm good. Happy St. Patrick's Day on the day we're recording.
That's right. We are recording on St. Patty's Day. I'm wearing my about the only green shirt I have, which is Ren and Stimpy.
I am wearing a nice green sweater, and Nicole and I are about to go over to Krispy Kreme and get a free green donut.
Oh, that sounds amazing. If they have any left. I mean,
hopefully,
somebody
yeah.
overslept today. You could have already had that Krispy Kreme donut, but
yeah, I overslept. I did.
Did you go too hard last night, or what happened?
No, I was playing Mario RPG till 1 a.m, and then I went to sleep without an alarm.
You went hard the nerd way, which is playing video games all night.
I'd already beaten the game, so now I'm in New Game Plus or like just post game stuff, and I'm trying to grind out.
I love it. Love it. Man, that's pretty fun night. I went out for St. Patty's Day.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I had a good time. Hanging out with some friends and everything.
Nice.
Nothing too exciting, but it was fun. Sorry, I had something falling behind my computer.
No worries.
Had to fix it. Well, I have been not reading comic books like I want to because I've been going through my comics. Still,
yes, you were telling me about pricing them.
Yeah, 2 weeks. I'm going to that toy show, and I'm hoping I can offload some of these comics. So, let me tell you, it is not fun to go through comics to sell, just because there's a lot of pricing and everything that needs to be done. And it doesn't seem like a lot. I have 4 short boxes that I'm getting rid of, but that's still probably 400 comics.
Yeah, that's a lot. Like a short box holds a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just had to back all my comics, and that was a pain.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So here's a little, if you're a comic book collector, here's a little hack. If you don't want to get bags and boards like in bulk, and what I do is I just pay the extra for the ones already made at the store. So when I go get my comics, I buy bags and boards right there that are already together, and then I just put my comics right in there. So I bag them before I even leave the comic book shop. So.
I pay 30. If I'm buying a book, I'll sometimes pay 30 cents extra to just bag and board them.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I do.
Yep, that's what I do. Yep.
Just a nice little hack. Then you don't have to have bags and boards at home.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you should still have a few if you're a serious collector, just in case you have something happens and you need an extra bag and board. But that's the little trick I do. I still have a ton of bags and boards that are empty now, but that's fine.
I have bags, no boards right now.
Oh man.
So I need to go and pick up some boards soon.
All the comic book collectors that are listening to this podcast just cringed.
A little bit. Yeah. A little bit. Do you want to go over the bit? I've been reading. I've been trying to catch up on my to read list because I don't want any books behind me that are unread. I did read I Heart Skull Crusher, and I read Helen of Windhorn.
So I picked it up. I haven't read it yet, but I did pick it up.
It is gorgeous. The art is powerful and delicate. Like, here's the thing, Tom King. I've read Tom King's work before. I've not seen this artist before, and I love it. It is so good. I picked up Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow digitally, and I regret that because I got it on a deal for $2.99. I'm gonna go rebuy that book physically. It is that good. Helen of Windhorn is so good. I Heart Skull Crusher is cute. If you love anime, and
I looked at it, and I'm not a big anime person.
Anime.
Yeah, it's more anime, and I was like, yeah, this isn't for me.
Yep. No, there's some Pokemon the anime jokes. What it feels like. There's sports anime. There's romance in there. I'm into this. It is real cool. And the writer of that is also the showrunner for My Adventures with Superman, which is also really, really anime. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad one of us is doing our jobs and reading a little bit.
I
I'm
got a lot of time to read when I was exporting my 45-minute set. So I was like, oh, cool. This is an hour.
Sit here and read while while I'm doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Smart move. Yeah, I think after I get moved and all the stuff sold and gone through this, I'll have more time to do some more reading. So I'm gonna be getting caught up. Probably gonna try to do some reading this week too. I keep saying that, but well, I guess you'll have to tune in next week to see if Dan actually reads any comics this week. But have you read? I mean, we might have talked about it last week, but did you read Ultimate X-Men? I know you picked it up. Right?
That is the top of my list. I had finished Cabinet 1 and 2 because, like, I'm behind. Ultimate X-Men I have. I scrolled through the book. It is beautiful. And I'm excited to read it, but I've not sit down with it yet. But
the reason I bring that up is because that brings us such a good transition into some big news this week.
Here's the thing. If you're me and you went, I don't really know about X-Men, and the problem with X-Men is that there's such a big history that I have to go back 10 years or 5 years at least to get these books, well, you're in luck. Starting in June, there are 3 X books coming out. We have, of course, just a standard X-Men book, and we have, which is by Jed MacKay and Ryan Stegman. We have Exceptional X-Men by Eve L. Ewing, who I'm really excited for, and Carmen Carneo's Exceptional X-Men. But then finally, Uncanny X-Men, the legendary book. We have Gail Simone as writing it, and David Marquis on art. This is the first time in 700 issues that a woman is writing Uncanny X-Men.
Wow.
Which is insane. And we have Gail Simone writing X-Men, which is gotta be so good. And I read the plot synopsis of at least Uncanny X-Men. So skip the next few months of X books if you haven't read an X book in many years. But the X-Men they're past the utopian age of Krakoa, where death doesn't even exist. They are living peacefully. It's like the goal of what the X-Men always wanted. To the X-Men are villains again, or outcast again. People may have thoughts on that. But the Uncanny X-Men, which has Gambit, Rogue, and Wolverine, they're living in New Orleans, and they're helping people out in New Orleans, and that sounds real cool.
A lot of the stuff with like Rogue and Gambit takes place in New Orleans. That's what I like. Yeah, because I've read a lot of the Rogue and Gambit comics, and then just the Gambit. Yeah, always a good time.
I didn't realize that I kind of want to see Wolverine in New Orleans. Like, that sounds fun. Not Wolverine
Urban Street out there,
like Logan,
out there helping.
Yeah,
Logan get beats or give them out,
or like go to the fortune tellers that are on the street and whatnot. I was like, oh yeah, there's like a lot that can happen here. That's just fun for Logan. Yeah, let's go. A lot of original characters are coming in, and a lot of cool stuff. Honestly, I can't really wait. So if you're like,
this is great because you went from not really knowing anything or being a fan of X-Men, and they are pulling you in.
You get a good writer in, and I'm in. Like, that's how you do it. Or really, honestly, the way you get me into superhero books I'm not into is you put them in a new location that is so far what you think of them from.
Kind of basically do a reset.
But also like, oh, that's a choice. I want to see that weird choice they're gonna do, and let's see if that works. And that's always fun for me.
Yeah. Well, and that should be good. That's going to be exciting. And that's a good transition into this week because we got some stuff coming out. And since we're already talking about X-Men, we just as well start with talking about Marvel. We just want to go into Marvel. What's coming out in Marvel?
Wolverine Mandapore Nights #2. doesn't really tie into the Krakoan stuff that much. And it's written by Chris Claremont. And if you are getting a weird kick from X-Men 97 and you want to read some classic X-Men books, you can't go wrong with Chris Claremont.
Mhm. Yeah, and you got a new X-Men book coming out this week too. X-Men Forever.
Yep. X-Men Forever. Yeah.
Yep.
I saw that, and I saw that they're using the Krakoa logo, and I went, that's going to be a great trade I pick up a couple years from now.
Yep. Haunted House of X.
That looks cool.
How can you kill a digital god? What do you do when the Phoenix is bleeding out into nothing? There's been questions that have haunted you since the end of, and that's a pretty good synopsis to get. Like, that's a good pitch. Yeah, that is a good pitch to get somebody to read it.
Take your biggest, most like recognizable like anti-hero and go like, no, they're bleeding out, they're dying right now. How do you deal with it? Yeah, no. Who is so there's a new Spider-Man book, and I think the first okay.
Yep, Web of Spider-Man.
For those who know, it's still written by Zeb Wells, who is diversive at best in terms of writing Spider-Man books. So take it or leave it. But I will admit the cover is super cool. It's Capella, who, and I was about to say it's Tom McFarlane-esque, and that makes sense because he's been drawing Spawn for years. And it's part of what they're calling even the title calls it the biggest spider book of 2024. So if you love
until the next big book
until the next one, until Spider-Man gets, and this one, hear me out, Spider-Man gets divorced again. That's the biggest book. Spider-Man gets extra divorced. We don't even know how we're gonna do that.
With the way he's getting married and divorced, I could be Spider-Man.
No, God comes down and not only erases Spider-Man's marriage, erases the word marriage from the Marvel universe.
Oh, okay. I like it. And Star Wars fans, you guys have some stuff coming out this week for Marvel. You got a Jango Fett book coming out. That could be good. I know. Yeah. I'm not like, I like the Star Wars, a lot of like the series that have been on Disney Plus. I've been digging a lot of that stuff. But I don't know that I could sink into reading the books.
Reverse of that, but I haven't watched a lot of Star Wars. Like the last Star Wars thing I saw was 3 episodes of Mandalorian, and before that it was Rogue One, and I went, oh, these are all fine. Like I kind of like them, but they're not getting me. Mm-hmm. Star Wars comics are way more interesting to me.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
They also have Star Wars Visions, Takashi Okazaki, #1 coming out this week. Yeah, I gotta sound out the words because I'm not good at pronunciation.
That's fair. Honestly, all of that looks real good. On the sci-fi route, we have Fantastic Four 19, which is I will keep saying this. Fantastic Four is probably one of the best books.
I'm showing 18 is coming out.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. 18.
You said 19, but
I did. I was 18. Again, Fantastic Four is one of the best books being written right now. Period. And also, these are all
little
stories. Enough said. Again, it's also super easy friendly to get into these books, at least for Fantastic Four. So pick it up, even if it's like the second part of a story arc. You can just jump in. It's fine. Beautiful book, masterfully written, and the best covers out there right now. Enough said.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go. Let's talk about. Did you see anything coming out on DC?
A lot of Superman.
A lot of Superman. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of Superman, especially now with the buzz on the new Superman movie.
Yeah.
I think they make decisions and do announcements purposefully. You know what I mean? That's like they don't just announce a Superman movie and then not start putting out that was a decision.
Yep. And I also think we're like kind of in the heat of the Superman initiative, where like different writers are taking over Action Comic and kind of cycling out in and out. So that's kind of cool. We're getting a lot. Like here's like Superman's in Wonder Woman right now. Superman and Batman has their 25th issue, and that looks like the start of a new arc where it's Superman and Batman versus Lex Luthor and Joker. And as someone who experience with Superman and Batman was the 1996 Batman Superman movie by Warner Brothers Animation, I'm excited. I'm so giddy. I love that so much.
One that I think will be fun. I don't know if I'll pick it up. I'm gonna at least look through it, but I think it's pretty hilarious. Is DC's April special #1? Did you see that? Get ready to go bananas in this Ape-ic adventure. I love it. The puns are killing me.
Oh, DC Ape stuff is so cool. Okay. Yeah. Yes. I'm in. Let's go.
Yeah. And it's a big book too. It's a 48 page.
Okay. So we're looking about $10.
No, actually, list price is $5.99.
Okay. That's actually not bad. All right.
Looks like it's probably just a one shot, but looks like it could be a lot of fun.
We had Superman is in. We have Super Ape, and we have Monkey King, and we have Detective Chimp. Listen, Detective Chimp. He is a detective. He's a chimp. But here's the joke about it: he is deadly serious. There is no puns. He is a serious monkey, and I love that. Give me the stupidest looking character that doesn't realize they're stupid, and let's go. And I don't pick up alternate covers. I never do. But
you might.
Well, it's the Monkey King. So if you guys know this, there's an iconic Crisis on Infinite Earth cover where Superman is holding Supergirl's lifeless body. And in this one, it's Monkey King holding a banana peel.
That's awesome.
It's so good. So good. And then there's now I feel just there's a new Superman book and that looks really good too. But monkeys, let's go,
monkeys.
Oh, it's so fun. Oh my god, I'm so glad I got to discover that here right now. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm excited too for Image. Image has got some more, no real like #1s. It doesn't look like nothing new, but a lot of continuations of stuff that. Some good books. Cobra Commander, Dutch, The Holy Roller, Kill Your Darlings.
Yep.
Something epic. Of course, Spawn 351.
Spawn 351.
So a lot of fun stuff over an Image.
Yep. And 351 is apparently you can start at 350. So it's
that's right, because it's kind of
as a #2. Yep.
View it as a #2. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Good point. Did you see anything that you were excited about on the indie side of things? I seen a couple of things on the indie side of things.
It's a reminder I need to read Kill Your Darlings.
Cobra
Commander is
really Ram V has a new book coming out called Dawn Runner, which we were talking about before the show a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of a mecha sci-fi type thing, or so it could be fun.
Yeah, that's really cool.
It's coming out by Dark Horse.
Yeah. The big book I'm looking for, and it got me into a weird rabbit hole of searching up this character, was Critter.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked about it a couple episodes past. It's about a Midwest superhero that moves to the West.
Yep.
And then I looked it up. That's based off an older, I think maybe early 2000s, late 90s book that had 4 issues and a 0. And then there was a continuation, like at least what I could tell, 14 issues by Antarctic Press. And now it's a new #1 by an Antarctic Press. I like finishing runs and I like reading whole things on characters. So this looks like just the type of weirdness that I'm real into. So yeah, I'm gonna go talk to my local comic shop, Antarctic Press. I don't think we get a ton of over here, so I might see if I can get
might have to put that on your hold list.
Yeah, get a special order of it. Yeah.
Another book that I thought looked kind of interesting, and the artwork, at least on the cover, is what caught my attention. It's called The Prague, and it says, "Meet Tate Debs, a hard-boiled, hard-drinking, leather-loving dyke detective," their words, not mine, "with an office in the back of Los Angeles's last video store. When a femme who may just be fatal, when a femme who may just be fatal hires Tate to infiltrate a mystical group that sounds suspiciously like the cult Tate escaped years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, so it looks like it could be fun, and it's written by Tina Horn, art
Okay.
by Lisa Sterl.
Okay. I'm that type of guy, especially ever since I came out as bi, that whenever I see a gay comic, I get real excited. Or my favorite thing is I buy a comic and I didn't really know it's gay, and
Mhm.
I get even happier. I was like, oh yay.
Yeah,
So
but the
that in
cover caught my
90s,
attention.
yeah, videotape also caught my attention. Like
Videotape store.
I like things in weird locations. I think that's fun.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
always a
yeah,
good time.
yeah.
And then if you're if Dune 2 just came
There's a new
out.
Dune comic.
Yep,
Yeah,
there's a new Dune comic coming
yeah.
out. House of Carino #1
Yes,
comes out this week,
that looks really
which
cool.
yep,
By Boom Studios. Yeah,
yep. Dust
uh,
Pirates is another one that I thought looked kind of interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, a lot of little fun stuff
A
coming
lot of
out.
little fun stuff. Honestly, a lot of cool books this month. A safe time to get into indie books, which I highly recommend every year, every
I did
day.
too. Well, and this
Yeah,
is why I really preach, and I will die on this mountain. I will die on this hill about indie comics. Is that one of the great things about indie comics? That a lot of the stories to me seem a little bit more thought out and
yeah,
better writing, and usually some really good art. But the one of the biggest selling points for me is that most of them are short runs. It's not
yep,
like you have to go every month and get this in it. It's not like Batman where they're at over 1,000 issues.
yep,
Like
yep,
you get usually 4 to 6 issues in a run, and then it's over. You get the complete story. You read
yep.
4 to 6 books and you got the whole story. It's gone. If it was a good book, they might do a volume 2.
Maybe,
Chances
yeah.
are though they won't. So you know
Even the longest, like some of the longer indie books, we're ignoring Spawn, but like are usually like 6 or 7 volumes. So you'll get to stay with them for a few years, and
Mhm.
then you feel something. Like here's the thing, I love I love the big two. I'm reading Fantastic Four and Superman. I love indie books because sometimes I want a book where the stakes are a bit higher, where something bad can happen to your main character and it sticks.
Mhm.
Like I love Superman, I love Fantastic Four, I love Spider-Man ish. And eh, yes, Spider-Man's gonna get divorced. He'll get back again. Like like he'll die, sure. And like but this time I've read some books that really touched me, and I think indie books can also be, and it's not to say that big two are not personal, but like indie books are really
Oh,
really personal.
absolutely. Let me ask you this, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Do you like animals? Are you a pet guy?
I have a roommate Billy. You saw him. Yeah, I think I like animals.
Yeah, I think you like animals. Well, then
It's
you might
strange.
like this book coming out from Boom Studios called
Mhm.
Man's Best. And we're homeward bound on an alien world,
I'm
and
in.
man's
Run.
best. Well, let me finish.
Yeah.
Man's best follows 3 emotional support pets living on Starship Horizon.
Mm,
A spacecraft searching for a
mm.
new home to house humanity. Uh, I
That sounds
think
good.
that sounds really fun. And looking at one of the covers, it kind of reminds me of kind of the art from Never Ending Story, kind of
Okay.
like the
Yeah.
one cover, but there's
There's
various
alts.
covers
Yeah.
on here. There's alts, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, and the
Okay.
writer, I'm not even going to attempt his name. It's Pornsak Pachette Shot.
Okay.
I don't know
Um,
if I said that right, but
you had me at Homeward Bound meets Star Trek, basically. So I'm in. That sounds like a lot of fun.
that does sound like
Uh,
a lot of fun. I'm definitely going to have to at least take, take a look at it and see,
yeah.
how the art is. Because that's one thing I do look at if I'm like looking at a new book. The art's got to also capture me. If the
Oh
art
yeah.
doesn't capture me, I'm not going to pick something up
Yep.
that I don't, even if it has a good story. I don't know. And maybe
I
maybe that's a bad way of doing it, but
No. See, this is a type of writing genre in which word and image have to marry each other and to form the complete image. That's why
yep.
everything is co-created by the artist and the writer. Honestly, even the letter and the inker, like we've seen the inker of the Fantastic Four did some weird stuff to Kirby's art, but for me, and this might be way too niche, I look for the paneling. Like if I don't really know a book, I will flip through and I look at the paneling. Like, hey, is the action flowing really well? Yeah. Yes, you can have some really creative panel work, and I'm happy for that, and I love that. But also, is it super easy to flow through? Does the action guide your eyes really well? That's what I look for. Because art can be subjective, but
absolutely
layout is not as much. Yeah.
Yep. You're absolutely right. Again, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fans are getting a new book too this week. You got The Untold Destiny of the Foot Clan.
Yeah, that looked really good. That's about trying to repair the image of the Foot Clan, and an old comic book reader like me goes oh, you mean the hand parody? The parody of the Daredevil clan? No, sure, let's try to make them cool. And that's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is so weird to me. I love them and I will die for them. And especially if you're a Turtle fan, you guys are getting everything you want this year. This is your time.
Oh, absolutely.
But it is hard.
It's such a great resurgence. The only thing I don't like about the resurgence, especially after the movie, and the movie was fun. The new movie, the animated one that Seth Rogen and them did, it was fun. It was all that. The only thing I don't like about it is the style of the animation, as far as with the toys. The toys.
With the toys,
goofy.
That's fair. That is fair.
Yeah, I just don't like the way the toys.
That's fair.
With the new artwork, but
that's
my only hiccup on it.
That's such a very specific hiccup, but I do get it. It is hard for me to look at the Turtles, and every now and then I'm blown away. I step back and think about how long the Turtles have lasted and how they're big in everything, and then I go, this was a parody book. I can't think of a parody book that has been this successful and taken this seriously. For those that don't know, everyone knows the Turtles lore. 3 turtles were hit by radioactive ooze because a kid pushed an old man away from a truck, and that truck swerved, and some radioactive ooze hit the turtle, but also hit that kid, because Eastman and Lard were big fans of Daredevil. And Splinter is a joke name based off of Stick, which is the mentor of Daredevil, and the foot is the hand. It is so weird to me that that's when I first comic I read was TMNT #1. So it's hard for me to separate the parody from The Last Ronin. It's so hard.
Man, well, I think that's we should probably wrap up. There's, like I said, there's a lot of great stuff. As always, we want to hear what you're excited about. We try to mention stuff, not just that we're excited about, but just stuff that we think looks interesting and would be interesting to everybody. We try to highlight a little bit of everything for everybody, but we don't always pick them. So that being said, reach out. We're on social media: Panel Picks Pod, Facebook, Instagram, Threads. Of course, you can email us, panelpickspodcast@gmail.com. And tell us what you're excited about, or if you're an indie creator and you have a book you'd like us to check out and maybe highlight on a future episode of the show. Reach out. We're always down, and please help us support the show and share it with a friend. Tell a friend. If you enjoy this podcast, tell your friends about it. Make sure you subscribe, give us a 5-star review, leave us some nice words. That'll help. This is issue 8. We're still a new podcast. We're still trying to grow, and we have a long ways to go, and we could use your help. Help us get there. So share. And without further ado, you can follow me at Debub Comedy and visit my website, debubcomedy.com.
And you can find me at Plum Jeremy on everything that's not X. So I can't wait to see from you.
All right. Till next time, keep supporting your local comic book shops.
This has been a Tape Deck Media production. Thank you for listening.